welcome back to my channel. So today I am filming my 6-week postpartum update. Today is Friday. I will be 6 weeks postpartum on Sunday. Today is just the best day I have to film it. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the products that I have found super helpful with being just having a baby, just the tenderness that comes along with that, all the breastfeeding tips that I've found. But first, I did just kind of want to tell you guys like everything about my pregnancy and how it went. And I got pregnant. I found out at, I think I was like 4 weeks and 3 days when I like tracked my last period, when I got my first positive pregnancy test. And I did a weigh-in that day, and I weighed, I think it was like 153 pounds. So that was my like what I call my first weigh-in of the pregnancy, because I had started gaining weight from there, obviously. And when I had him, I was, oh goodness, 170, I think I was 170 even. So I didn't gain very much weight at all. I only gained like, 17 pounds with him, which is totally different for me because when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Adeline, I gained like 35, maybe 40 pounds with her, which my doctor said that it could have just been because it's my first pregnancy and it was just, I don't know, everything getting bigger essentially, but who knows. I also just didn't eat very well and I didn't really work out that much, so that's probably why I gained so much weight with her. And I didn't gain that much weight with him because I feel like I just had an easier time like working out with him and stuff. I was just really tired with Adeline, and it did help that I had Adeline when I was pregnant with him because I was running around chasing her all day because I'm a stay-at-home mom, so you know, toddlers, once they start walking, they're just everywhere. So I was chasing her around all day. We were running errands all the time. I was taking her to the park. So I was just continually doing stuff, which I think helped make sure that I didn't gain a lot of weight. So that part was really nice. I did weigh in this morning, so technically I'm not 6 weeks yet. I am 5 weeks and 5 days postpartum. But my weigh-in today was 147 pounds. So I have not only lost all of my baby weight, I have also gone lighter than what my pre-pregnancy weight was. So that's awesome. It took me a long time to lose all of the weight after I had Adeline. So I'm not really sure, again, why I'm losing weight so fast with him. And I'm continually losing weight, but I'm not gonna complain about it. If you guys hear a bunch of squeaking and groaning and grunting in the background, that would be Theodore, the little man that I just had 6 weeks ago. He is he doesn't cry like ever. If he's crying, it's either because, I don't know, something hurts, like he has an upset belly because of gas, or he's really hungry. But he rarely cries, but he makes noise 24/7. Like he grunts like that and makes those, like, we call him a billy goat because sometimes he'll sound like a billy goat. He'll grunt all the time. So he's a very loud baby, just not in a crying aspect. Okay, now I'm going to get into my favorite products and everything. So my delivery with my daughter, I delivered vaginally with her, and I did have a super minor tear with her, so I was overall just more sore afterwards because I did have to get stitches. By the way, if you guys don't have a kid or are not pregnant or anything, this might be a really TMI video for you. I'm sorry, but it's something you probably will go through eventually, whether you're a guy and you have your wife, or you are a girl yourself and you're gonna have your own babies. So I did tear with her, so I feel like my recovery with her just was a little bit harder. With Theodore, I did do a vaginal delivery. I did not tear with him. I was only 36 weeks and he was 7 pounds, so it wasn't like he was smaller than Adeline, because Adeline was 7 pounds 5 ounces, so he was really only 5 ounces smaller than she was. So I don't think it was the size that caused me not to tear. It was probably just because I've already had a baby. So, you know, but that part was really nice. Another thing that every postpartum woman, that was weird. We have cats, 2 cats, and sometimes they'll just like creep around and you'll like randomly see like a door squeak open because they're like so tiny and they just sneak through. It's so creepy. Every woman that has a baby, during their, you know, postpartum recovery and everything, you bleed. It's like heavy period bleeding, but it's like for however many weeks straight that you bleed for. Every woman bleeds for a different amount of time. With my daughter, I bled for like 6 weeks, and it was heavy, like so bad heavy. And again, I'm not sure why it was so heavy with her, but I would, in the hospital they give you these giant pads that literally go from like belly button to like the same spot in your back. They're so big, and I would, you know, those, they say you can wear them for a while because they're so absorbent without having to change them, but I bled so much that I had to change them like every 2 hours after I had her. With him though, I stopped like heavy bleeding after day 1. Day 2 postpartum, I was already like barely bleeding. Like, it was not like barely bleeding, but compared to my daughter, it was barely bleeding. So I didn't have to wear those giant, super uncomfortable pads for very long. I actually was able to start using these. They are the Always Maxi, and then they're in the size extra long super, so size 3. I was able to start wearing those the second I came home from the hospital, which was, I came home, I think it was 3 days postpartum when I came home. So I was able to wear those, which was super nice because they're not as big. I mean, I think they're like this long with it open, which is nice because you just don't want, you know, it's uncomfortable to always have like stuff everywhere. So that was awesome. Now, I wore those at night, and then my bleeding was already so light that I was able to go down to more of like a normal sized pad. So I used these. They are the Always Infinity Flex Foam, and these are in size 1. So I was able to use these pretty much right when I came home as well, which was awesome because those literally feel like, it even says on the box, it says feels like nothing, which I can totally tell you guys, those are amazing. Like, they do. They feel like you don't have anything on but your underwear, which is awesome to not have to feel the uncomfortableness of like a pad all day. So being able to wear those right away, I think just kind of changed the game for me with this recovery because I wasn't uncomfortable. They weren't so bulky, so like it wasn't so tender down there with having a pad on. So that all helped a lot. Now, we'll kind of get into the breastfeeding aspect of my postpartum recovery area. So I breastfed my daughter, but she wasn't very good at it. So I had I had cracked nipples, I had sore nipples, they bled at one point, so it was just awful. So going into it, I was not excited to try breastfeeding with him. I was going to try it. I did try it. But I didn't want to at the same time because it was just so discouraging from how horrible the start was with my daughter. So it was hard. But when I had him, he went to the NICU right away. So I had to pump. So I pumped the day he came, until he came home, I pumped. So I didn't get to actually try and nurse him until he came home at 6 days postpartum. So that, by the time he came home and I started nursing him, my milk had already came in. I had this huge stash in the freezer because I had a giant oversupply. At 4 weeks postpartum, I donated almost 700 ounces of breast milk to a mom with twins that was not able to produce enough for her twins to stay on breast milk. And I had so much, our freezer was overflowing. We could not keep it. And I think I gave her like 10 of those giant gallon-sized bags full of bagged breast milk. And I still have like 3 or 4 in the freezer. So that just tells you how much of an oversupply I had at the time. I've regulated out a lot more, but because of pumping is just, I feel like it's harder. For me, it felt harder on the nipple than actually nursing did. So my amazing husband was at the store trying to find stuff that would help. They always give you like this in the hospital. It is like I use the Lancino lanolin cream. There's mixed opinions on lanolin. People will say that it makes the baby's bellies upset, so try not to use it. Use one that's lanolin free. I never noticed it making his belly upset, but it is really, really thick. Like if you see, it's like a petroleum jelly almost kind of consistency, which I didn't like. I just felt like it was really thick. So I picked up one that was lanolin free. It is the Boob Ease Organic Nipple Balm, and it is lanolin free. The ingredients in it are like extra virgin olive oil, beeswax, shea butter, that kind of stuff. So it was like all natural products, which I loved, but it is really greasy. Like when I would put it on, you put it on with your finger, obviously, my fingers would feel like I had just like rubbed olive oil on my hands. So that part I didn't love, but it did work really well. I didn't, like I said, I didn't notice a difference between the two, like with his belly not being upset. So for me, the lanolin didn't affect him at all. I'm sure it has for other kiddos, but thankfully we didn't struggle with that problem. He does this 24/7, like he'll be dead asleep and grunt like that and just go right back dead asleep. Like, see? And he's dead asleep again. Which kind of stinks because he does do that through the night and he's in our room, so he wakes us up through the night sometimes with that, which, yeah, we're still adjusting. But anyway, and then because I had such a big oversupply, I was engorged. So, I mean, TMI, but my boobs were just huge and they were hard as rocks and they hurt, like they hurt to move certain ways. They hurt, like if Adeline even like touched my chest like this to like help her climb on me or like anything like that, I was like crying in pain. So Parker found these at the store. He found them at Target too. Just a forewarning, pretty much everything I'm going to show you is Lancino. I just love their stuff. It's always worked really well for me. And I think it's pretty much primarily, other than Medela, what Target carries. But I just found that the Lancino stuff works better for me than Medela does. But these are Lancino, and they are 3-in-1 breast therapy pads. So you can either put these in the microwave and heat them up for like a hot compress, or you can freeze them. I like them both. I used the hot compress when I thought I was getting mastitis and when I thought I had clogged ducts. They say to, you know, rub or run warm water over it and try and massage it out. So I used these when I thought I had a clogged duct, and I would put it on there to help relieve the pain a little bit. And then after that was over and I worked through like thinking I had mastitis in the clogged duct, then my whole like surrounding boob was just sore from like massaging it and from it just being so full. So I used these as ice packs to kind of just help relieve some of the pain from them. And so, you know, these make great ice packs for little kids. Obviously, we washed them after I used them, so it wasn't like something gross, but we've just been keeping them in the freezer, and Adeline fell down the other day, and I think it was, oh no, she shut her fingers in a door. So I just took this out real quick, and it's super flexible, so I like wrapped it around her hand on her fingers, and that was awesome because they're just so flexible. So if you have toddlers running around when you're breastfeeding, then these are great for boo-boos. And then obviously with breastfeeding there comes leaking. Thankfully with him I haven't really leaked that bad. With Adeline I would leak through like a nursing pad and my bra and my shirt. So like it was insane. I just leaked and leaked and leaked, which was annoying. Thankfully I don't with him. Again, I don't know why these are so, I've had two totally different postpartum experiences, two totally different breastfeeding experiences with them. He's just been overall so easy postpartum. But for the breast pads, I use these with Adeline as well. I use them with him. Again, they are Lancino. They're just the Lancino nursing pads. I like how thin they are. You can't really feel them. I think they're more absorbent than the Medela ones I had previously tried with Adeline, so I bought these with him because I found that I liked them better. So that part was awesome. They work super well. Another thing that are amazing for sore, cracked nipples is these, again, Lancino. They're called Lancino Soothies. They're cooling gel pads. And obviously they go over your nipple. Therefore, just protects from rubbing and irritation, soothes and heals painful nipples. They are seriously amazing. On here, it doesn't tell you to do this because they're already supposed to be, oh, I guess it does right here. Anyway, they just look like, they come on these little like pad thingies so they stay clean when you're not using them, but they just look like this, and they're kind of cool, and you just put it right over your nipple obviously, and it takes away like all the irritation, all the pain. And then bonus, if you put them in the fridge, they get really cold obviously, and so when you put them on, it just like instantly relieves all of that pain because it's cold and like kind of numbs it in my mind. So these are a must-have for breastfeeding moms because the first like 4 to 6 weeks of breastfeeding are awful. It hurts, you're engorged, it's uncomfortable, it's just horrible. So once you get past that, seriously, I don't think breastfeeding is that bad. But those first 4 to 6 weeks, if you can make it through those, then you're a trooper because those suck. He is still breastfed. At the moment, he is getting just bottles of breast milk. I'm pumping every 3 to 4 hours and feeding him bottled breast milk. We still have so much in the fridge. I still make more than he eats every bottle, so we're still adding to our stash. I do nurse him, like if we're out and about and we don't have a bottle with us. I don't mind nursing him. He just kind of takes to a bottle a little bit better because he had those 6 days in the NICU where he was only bottle fed. So I've noticed that bottles just work a little bit better for him. I don't know, maybe as he gets older, we, like Parker can breastfeed, I will start nursing more instead of bottle feeding. Because obviously I have to pump and then bottle feed sometimes, which is just a really long process. But on to the next thing. Since I am breastfeeding, they say, sorry, Bubby decided he needed to be in the video. Yeah, you need to be held. So since I am breastfeeding, you're recommended to still take a prenatal so that all of those vitamins and nutrients are still getting into your breast milk. So I have used just the Simply Balanced Prenatal with DHA. I thought he puked on me. Plus fruits and vegetables blend. I love that one. You only have to take it once a day, which is a plus for me because I hate taking pills. I'm able to take pills super well. I just don't because they always make my stomach upset. So I only have to take one of these a day. They are kind of big. They look like that. So they are kind of big. They're not huge though, so that's not a big deal. But those ones don't hurt my stomach. I really struggled to find a prenatal vitamin that didn't make me want to throw up. And these don't, even when I was pregnant. And thankfully they're just Simply Balanced. So they're the like Target food brand. And they're actually really cheap for a prenatal because prenatals are expensive. So it was awesome finding those and finding out they worked because I didn't want to have to like try and find a prenatal vitamin that was like $40 as the only one that would work for me. What's wrong? Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah? Do you want to? Say hi! He is a chunk. Adeline did not gain weight as fast as he does and is. You know, some people will probably say that's just because he's a boy, but yeah. Oh, you're getting so angry. Oh, okay. So when I had him, he was 7 pounds. And then the next time they weighed him, he was 6 pounds, 12 ounces. And then the next time they weighed him, he had gone down to, I think, 6'8". So he dropped, I wouldn't say a ton, but he dropped a little bit of weight while he was in the NICU. And by his 1 month checkup, he was already 9 pounds, 15 ounces. So literally 1 ounce away from being 10 pounds. And now he's 6 weeks old and huge. So I'm guessing he's over 10 pounds now. I obviously won't know until his 2-month appointment. And after that appointment, I will update you guys on him. Adeline turns 20 months, like 5 days after he, or actually it's only 3 days. Yeah, 3 days after he turns 2 months. So I'll be able to update you guys on both of them in the same video probably. But that was pretty much it. That's kind of like I said, my postpartum experience with Theodore has been a breeze. I bounced back so fast. I literally, right after I had him, I wasn't even in pain. Like with Adeline, after I had her, I was just so tender. Like, you know, when you sat down, it hurt. If I laid the wrong way, it hurt. With him, nothing. Like, I was up and walking by myself, not needing any help on the first day that I had him, which was incredible. It took maybe 3 days for me to be able to navigate everywhere without help after I had Adeline. Didn't have that with him. Didn't bleed very much with him. This postpartum experience has been great with him. I got mastitis really bad, or I don't know how you say it. I'm just gonna say mastitis. But I got it really, really, really bad when I had Adeline. My fever got up to like 104. I couldn't move without help. I was in so much pain. And I haven't, knock on wood, let's see. I haven't had it with him yet, and I am 6 weeks into breastfeeding, and I have regulated out, and which is awesome. And for pumps, I use the Spectra S2 pump. With my daughter, I had the Medela. It was like maybe the Medela Freestyle or something like that. And I hated it. I thought it hurt. I thought it didn't work very well. So with this baby, since my insurance covers a new breast pump every pregnancy, I got the Spectra S2, and it is amazing. It never has felt like it hurt or that it didn't have enough like suction to it. I think it works so incredibly well. So I love the Spectra S2. I would recommend it to anyone. Obviously, different pumps work for different people, but thankfully I found the one that works for me. Oh. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys my belly to show you guys what it looks like now at 6 weeks postpartum. So my belly, I do have high-waisted jeans on. They're just my favorite jeans, they're the most comfortable. But this is what my belly looks like right now. So it has completely gone down. It is flat. I can kind of show you, like, obviously, since I have high-waisted jeans on. But it's flat. I do have some stretch marks. Everyone gets them. I guess everyone might not, but I did. It is totally flat. I am not still like perfectly happy with it. I have more to lose preferably, but for only being 6 weeks postpartum, I am proud of it. I'm proud of myself. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Yeah. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment on what postpartum accessories worked best for you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Please subscribe. Yeah, say please subscribe so you can see all of our fun videos. Yeah, all of our fun videos. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.